All right, should I should be uploading this soon. Screw it. Okay, that's good enough. All right, let's see. I know I got some people in here. Sorry for the delay and everything. I finally got my computer. Of course I'm coughing. Of course, right off the bat. It's like, oh, throat's already got sun in it. I got the computer yesterday, so clearly that's what I'm on. So I've been trying. I was at everything, making sure that like the scraper and everything was working. Let's see. Let me just get this here. What's going on, Big? Okay, so here's the deal. Let me get this. Let me make sure that this is tweeted out. Let me make sure it's in Discord. Okay, cool. So this is where I'm at. I went ahead and pulled data and did all that stuff earlier. In case you haven't seen it, here, let me go ahead and put it up on the screen. So I'll put that here. And also this is a good test to see how everything, if I've set up everything correctly, that you can still hear me, see everything. So when we look at practice, I mean, it's so funny. It's very, very funny that it went from nobody having the lap by lap data to just everybody having it, people stealing it from, like, I guess Chad was in just a world of shit earlier in the week. Apparently that was his relative that the Mahomes brother was kissing the other day. I don't know. I thought the boomer was joking around because he puts out some pretty boomer takes. I guess it wasn't. Either way, at least everybody has it. For me, I always pull it, just because I have the ability to. I threw it into Patreon, or not Patreon. I threw it up on Discord just if people want it or whatnot. And then we also have the 10, 15 lap runs as well. So here, these are if you want them. You can pause it and look at it and everything from there. But really, other than that, so, I did all this stuff. I went to go eat. I had some other stuff come up, so I wasn't able to build lines. So I haven't built my lines yet. I'm running 10. I'm going to probably run 10 or even 12 in this contest, in the 10 for 1 and everything. So I haven't built lines yet. So typically I really dislike entering a live show when I haven't built lines personally. I messed it before, I left and everything, but I typically don't enjoy hopping onto a show and being like, oh, this is what I would do, or this is what I would play when I technically don't have lines. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing, but I want to be live for at least 30 minutes as I kind of work through my process. Very similar to the videos I have been making recently this year of just lineup construction with me building those. That's very much what this is going to be. I just realized I got incredibly lucky yet again, not really paying attention. When I showed this screen here, it has my TV, it has my stream for the Fox and everything. Porn ad just popped up on my screen that I was sharing. So lucky. Unbelievably. Yet again, not paying attention. Just absolutely could have whiffed and had my channel taken down for a while. What a save there. Because I don't pay for Hulu or anything. I just get I watch the races and everything through a stream. I don't have any ad block or anything on this computer. Ran up. Absolutely got lucky there. But yeah, I haven't built lines yet. So let's kind of go through and talk at least my early thoughts. And when I was thinking about an hour ago, as I said, probably going to be live for the next 30-ish minutes, and then because I need to personally fill out my stuff in case I want to do things like that. Let's see. So one thing that I was looking at earlier, right off the bat, when qualifying happened, and when I was doing the projections and everything, my initial thought, and let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if this looks good. I mean, clearly I'm going to go back and listen to it, but I'm very happy with how this is streaming, at least on my end so far. If you guys have any issues with the stream or anything, let me know, because it's the first time I've done this on this computer. My initial thought was, I don't believe people are going to want to play Kyle Busch due to a projection that is probably in the low 70s on most accounts. And that's without any laps led for me, really, without really any fast laps. Because, and yet again, I went through this, you got to have a short memory and stuff. I think it's absolutely imperative that you have a short memory in DFS. But going back to last week, I thought Cole Custer was the best car, missed. I think Cole Custer is the best car here. Now, when we do dive down and look at I got a lot of stuff squared away. I need to organize a lot of stuff. This is kind of I wasn't even thinking about streaming today, but this is just how it kind of showed up. When we look at Cole Custer, first and 5 laps, second and 10 lap, that's good to see. Past that, I understand that, 10 laps are going to go by very quickly, but the field is, at least leader-wise, Cole Custer should be spread out enough to where he doesn't necessarily have to worry about people writing him down in the 15, 20-lap runs. I mean, clearly, you have Austin Hill third fastest, you have Sammy Smith second fastest, you have Ryan Truex, probably the fastest long-run car in general. But in terms of, excuse me, that's the last thing I want to do. I forgot to do that. Let's see if they talked about the pit selections real fast. That is, let me see the pit selections. I didn't even see freaking qualifying for Cup Series. I need to watch that later. And I'm going to have to go on J-Ski to find the pit selections. All right. Fantastic reporting, Bob. I'm glad that you got interviews with Jensen Button, but you can't tell me who has the fucking pit selections for Xfinity. All right. Fantastic. Okay. Good job, J-Ski. You don't have the pit stalls either. Fantastic reporting across the board for these morons in the NASCAR industry. So that's nice. Let me go ahead and see if I can search it really fast. And I apologize. This is normally, as I said, normally not how I do my streams, but this is what we're dealing with. Let me just look up. And as I look through this, anyway, but going back to the Kyle Busch, very expensive. My thought process when I saw everything was, I want to play Cole Custer, and does nobody have? Nobody's posted that. Nobody's posted anywhere? Are you kidding me? Not a single person has posted the pit stalls for the Xfinity Series at Phoenix. Awesome to see. Okay, not an absolute diehard, or not a die on this hill that we need, but yet again, fantastic reporting. I've been gone goofing around for an hour and a half. They still don't have that shit up. Fantastic. Anyway, my initial thought was I want to play Cole Custer and Kyle Busch together, and just doing, my 10 lines, 12 lines, whatever the case may be. I'm going 100% on probably 2 people here, depending on what these builds show me. And that thought process was specifically Cole Custer, Kyle Busch. If I'm building in that situation, I am assuming, and this is what I'm being shown here, because I ran 300 lines earlier. 6%, this is 300 lines, 6% Allgaier, 6% Hemrick, 1% Nemechek, 4% Creed, Chandler Smith 11%, Barry 8%, Austin Hill 14%. This is what the tool is showing me, not what my ownership is. Seeing that tells me, based on my projections, there's a really good chance that nobody else leads. And I'm not saying like here, let me explain that a little bit more. This is why I like doing the line of construction videos, because then I can just show you what I'm working with. I got Cole Custer today for 79 points. I got Kyle Busch for low 70s. That's where I'm at right there. Allgaier, right, hitting value. Nemechek right under value. Chandler Smith, Josh Berry right under value. The reason being is I kind of think that Cole Custer just leads this fucking race. That's kind of the hill I want to die on. Or not necessarily 1 and 2, but that's the hill I'm at. That's where I'm just at right now. And we got 6 of you guys here. Thank you very much for being here. I am really here thinking just do 100% Cole Custer, 100% Kyle Busch, and spread out the value plays. And I'm talking ugly value plays, Poole, Smithley, Earnhardt, Bailey, Joey Gase, Patrick, Blaine Perkins, and all that. Do whatever, just play whoever there, because I don't have these guys projected for shit. Like none of these, I got none of these guys projected for over 22 points. But based on the fact that, and like I said, I typically cap projections. Like, there's a real chance Cole Custer scores like 110 points in this race. I don't have that projected, or I don't have that in the numbers. I just have him right at like 79. If he does run away with this, fast laps, laps led, shrink, place differential becomes more important. There's a real argument to be made that the 70 points from Kyle Busch can work his way into the optimal lineup. You get a place differential play with Mosak and Kligerman as well. Jones, depending on where you want to do, you're going to be that build. While it might not be showing that it's optimal or showing that it's a high-scoring line, you will end up needing a value play that scores you probably right at 22 points. Okay, so me mixing those guys in everyone from Gray Galding to Blaine Perkins. I imagine I will probably take two, if certainly one, in each line that I play today in that range. And the reason being is, like, when I look at lines here, thank you for everybody in the stream right now. I will look at comments in a moment. Like, for example here, that's saying too much. Yeah, like, my highest scoring lines right now, and this is the other thing I was going to say if I was going to record. When I ran this earlier, Kyle Busch is only in 6% of the 300 lines that it made. He's in the second highest scoring line. He's in the fourth highest scoring line. He's in the 7th, 11th, 13th, and 17th, despite the fact he's only in 6%. So that's another reason why I'm leaning towards just saying F it, playing 100% Cole Custer, 100% Kyle Busch, being okay with that, whether it works out or not, and just trying to cover all the bases in that range. And so for me, I think that's how I want to go. That's kind of where I'm at. I like Brandon Jones as a play. I don't know if I'm going to end up getting to him just due to pricing constraints. But Mosak and Kligerman, this is a real chance that you get Kyle Busch, Kligerman, and Mosak being optimal with Cole Custer. Like, I think there's a lot of dead plays in this race. Like Gralla, Parker, not going to play him. Jeb Burton, Ryan Ellis, Kyle Sieg. Jeremy Clements, Dawson Cram's probably the only value play I'm not going to get to, but there's a lot of dead plays here that don't necessarily work for me, and I got fast laps and laps led spread out between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 people projected for a fast lap or a lap led. If that's end up being centralized around Cole Custer, because Kyle Busch could get fast laps going through the field anyway, you're going to probably have, Truex, you're gonna have Sammy Smith, Josh Berry, Allgaier certainly scraping off some fast laps here and there. But if it's really centralized around a couple people, it makes the Cole Custer, Kyle Busch build very interesting, because I don't think Kyle Busch can be played nearly as much as people think, or as much as I think they will, because that 13.5 price range makes it very difficult to work with. And normally you can't. Like, I was not going to play Kyle Busch starting third today or second today, even with laps led, because I think Cole Custer was the better play. But the fact that I think Kyle Busch is going to finish top 6 today, he can get there alone on that. And seriously, guys, go look at the practice laps. Okay? These guys are slow. You cannot fake speed at practice. I've said that more times than not. Let me go. Actually, I don't want to do that because I don't have ad blocker up. Go back, pause the video at the laps led. Look at these laps. I mean, you got your bottom 10 fastest guys on average in like the 122s, 124s. Like Brennan Poole, on average, 28th best on average. His laps right at 124, 126, 128 at the line, 120, 124, 8 at the line, 124, 3, 124, 3, so on and so forth. And then you get to the middle of the pack, a Brett Moffitt, a Brandon Jones, a Sheldon Creed. At the line, they're running, 125s, 124s, and this is just me. I mean, they're running clearly more than that, but I'm looking at some of their faster laps here. Even Ryan Sieg at a 126.9, 125.9, then he goes to a 124.1, 124.1 at the line. But when you look at Ryan Truex, Custer, Nemechek, and Kyle Busch is running 128.6 at the line. 128.4, 128.7. He's not even into the 126s until 7 laps into practice. Ryan Truex, 127.2 his first lap, 128.1, 128.2, 128, 128 or 127.5. There is a huge speed discrepancy in this field. Kyle Busch should fucking fly through this field. That's where I'm at there. Honestly, I am more concerned about missing on Custer than I am Kyle Busch. I feel like Custer is much more a risk than Kyle Busch, and so as I kind of talk my way through this, I'm playing 100% Kyle Busch. I know that for sure. I'm maybe 70% Custer. I'll probably end up going to Justin Allgaier and possibly Nemechek, possibly Truex, but I really want to stick with Cole Custer and Kyle Busch. And like I said, I'm still going to be here for the next 20 minutes. I'm so sorry that I haven't made my lines yet. I hate entering live shows when I haven't personally, entered them yet, or at least have an idea of what I want to do. Normally I at least do half or 3/4 of them and then do my last quarter after I go live. But that's really my approach. That's where I'm at, and that's kind of what I want to look at. Let me start going through these here. All right, 80 you guys here. Thank you very much. What's going on? As I said, DK doesn't even have starting position posted. They're dropping the ball. I mean, if you're using DK for your starting position, that's on you. But yeah, I think everybody is dropping the ball. Everybody, dude, I hate NASCAR. Dude, I hate these idiots. I hate these people so much. I hate NASCAR, but I cover it with a passion. That's literally where that's why that's in my fucking bio. Everything this sport does in terms of coverage is asinine. It's ass backwards. Are we looking at high plate? Yeah, JJ, I think for sure. Let me run this thing again. Okay, now that I know what it would end up looking like, I'm gonna go in, and like I said, I like explaining what I do to make certain things work. I'm gonna go into this thing and give Kyle Busch projected. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I'll do 110. I'm going to give Kyle Busch projection of 110 points a day. I'm going to give Cole Custer a projection of 110 points a day. And that gets around me having to just absolutely try and force this thing to work with those guys. If the projections are telling, that's not what my projection is. That's me forcing this optimizer to just play Cole Custer and Kyle Busch together. I want to see the builds that it goes to. So at this point, this is what I enjoy looking at. This is where this is what I was very curious on. Riley Herbst is popping up. Chandler Smith is popping up. Brett Moffitt's popping up. Where else are we at? It's around 2 punts. Yeah, okay, this is Joe Graff Jr. is popping up here and there. Austin Hill. It really is. It's looking like Kyle Busch, Cole Custer, either 2 punts, most of the time 2 punts. How much salary is this using? Some of these have quite a bit of salary left over, actually. Okay, so like this one here, I'm probably going to play the lines that I just created here, but these are very much Kyle Busch, Cole Custer together, and as I said, it's bringing up drivers each, in and out, swapping drivers in and out, but bringing up Moffitt, bringing up Herbst, bringing up some Chandler Smith, which is what I saw in the projections earlier. Like when I was looking at the heat map, just looking at it, I was like, Brett Moffitt's going to be a good play. Herbst's going to be a good play. A lot of these guys in the 8 and in the 7s, that really seems to be where they're going. Let me go ahead and put Clements back in this pool. I assume that it's going to want to go to him probably more. I want to see what people are working with. Connor Mosack. Yeah, so look, personally for me, this is where I'm going. Kyle Busch, Cole Custer. I'm just going to say fuck it. I'm going to do 100% of those. I really don't. If I whiff on that, two lines with Allgaier, a line with, a Nemechek or like a Ryan Truex. At that point, I'm not going to be able to make up what I entered, so I'm just going to go 100% on Cole Custer and Kyle Busch. And I was mainly just wanting to get through the process for me to either see or confirm if I wanted to do that or not. Let's go ahead and look at these comments again. How do you tax single entry? It's going to be very chalky. I think most single entry lines are going to be Kyle Busch, Connor Mosack, Kligerman. I think you are giving up too much potential if you want to fade Kyle Busch. If I was in single entry today, which I'm not, but I would probably try and play just one super. I'd honestly play a bad punt, to be honest with you, in single entry. I think that's probably what I would do. Perkins is a bad punt, but probably the most probably the most owned driver back there. Same with Honey. But maybe Joey Gase, try and get to a Joey Gase. I think Patrick, you're giving up too much speed on the long run. He's going to get lapped a ton. I'd probably play Gase or Curry in a single entry today, and then just play the chalk elsewhere. About to take the dog for a walk. Oh, thank you very much. I know you probably already walking the dog, Jordan, but I'm happy to see you in here. Thank you very much. Hey man, do you know where I can watch the race without cable? You can very easily. It doesn't even take a long time. You can just go to Google or go to Reddit. Very easily type in, well, how do I find a NASCAR stream? And then you can find them everywhere. Like, do people like NFL Byte, NBA Byte, NHL Byte? Just type that in Google, and then you have every stream. Like, if you want to watch UFC fights, like, go right. The reason I don't do that is because, I'll pay for that stuff when I get that. When I get comfortable enough to where I can waste time or spend that much paying for a pay-per-view or for ESPN Plus or things like that. But right now, most of the time, they're streamed on Twitch. Most of the time, if all else fails and you don't want to deal with if you're scared about ads or whatever, you can typically just go to Twitch and type in NASCAR and find at least 7 channels streaming the race. So there's tons of places out there to find streams at. I'm off Kyle, my sportsbook bets. They still have Kyle as a favorite. I fell in the trap last week. Yeah, I mean, I do not think Kyle was going to win this race. But I have no idea why. We said that in the live show. We said that in Discord. And I'm just mentioning this because you brought that up, Kay. It's not that we told you, but like those are discussions that we were having. I didn't understand why Kyle Busch was still the favorite last weekend. That made no sense to me at all for the Xfinity Series race at Las Vegas. That was nuts. But I like him for DFS here. Yeah, what's going on, Dave? And thank you, Michael. I can't bring him up on the screen. I have that selected. But thank you very much for the super chat. Kligerman and Jones, I like them both. I think they're both very, very safe plays, especially if you are not building with Kyle Busch. You should absolutely play Kligerman and Brandon Jones in that line. Brandon Jones had a terrible turn 1, completely whiffed. Yet again, this guy, look at the speeds. Yes, I understand on average he's 19th fastest, but look at what Junior Motorsports is bringing. Look at what Brandon Jones has done at this track before. Should be a very easy guy to get into the top 10. I would be very shocked if Brandon Jones did not finish in the top 10 today. 93 you guys here. And last minute on a Saturday for an Xfinity Series race. Thank you very much for being here. Yet again, just real fast, like how I approach a lot of things. I tend to try and be really aggressive in truck Xfinity. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But that's kind of how I play. I very rarely build lines that spread out ownership across the board. For the Cup Series, I probably do more. But like usually, I guess for all series, normally I find like 2 or 3 plays I just want to be on it. I just try and be overweight on them as much as possible. Today's no different. So just right now, if Cole Custer blows a tire, if he gets in the wall, if he doesn't lead laps, you kind of already know how my day went. If Kyle Busch, fails or gets involved in a wreck, we kind of know how my day went. But there's no reason, like, honestly, first lap, I would not be shocked to see, what is he, 37th, 38th? I think that's quite important. Let me look real fast for my point here. Yeah, Kyle's going to start, Kyle should absolutely throw it to the inside, down the dog leg, probably will just hold the inside wall in 1 and 2. I can't imagine he's going to have time to get to the outside to pass people in. So he should probably just be basically driving into pit lane, exiting turn 2 on the first lap. He should be so far left, and he should have so much more speed and grip on those fresh tires. It's 1 lap, but that's still huge here. He should absolutely just run the inside lane, the inside wall in turns 1 and 2, and probably be. I would not be shocked. I would confidently right now put $20 on Kyle Busch being 25th out of turn 2 on the initial restart, to be honest with you. So that's where I'm at there. Last one, Kyle Seager Williams. I make 2 points. Kyle Seager. I make 2 points on this. Josh Williams. This is probably one of his more consistent racetracks. We've seen him perform very well here, very consistently perform here. He just runs well at this track. I'm going to look at these guys personally here, actually, here, let me X out this real fast. I'll put this stream up later. Let's go ahead and put this on the stream, and we'll answer that right here. So, Kyle Sieg, where we at here, buddy boy? Kyle Sieg, and this is averages based on laps over 115 miles per hour. And as I said, I had to get up. What I normally do is I just not that one. Is I normally go through and I just remove the slower laps. As you can see, I've kind of already done that with these here, but I had to get up, eat. I had to do other stuff. I wasn't able to do that, so I apologize that the red is still here for these guys. Anyway, but look, Kyle Sieg, 125, decent. 124s, 123s, 122s, quite a bit on long run. So are we able to see Josh Williams have more speed than him? Because these are very much two identical plays. They're 2 positions away from each other. At least I think so. I think Williams is starting 20th. Kyle should be, 22nd. They're 2 positions away from each other. If I can click that, my camera's in the way. So let's go and find Josh Williams. So Josh Williams, just head-to-head. I'll keep my cursor, my mouse on where Kyle Sieg is at. So this is Josh Williams right here. Actually, I'll do this here. I'll just keep it there. So, the Josh Williams laps are right here. Clearly, right off the bat, off the trailer, early in the run, way faster laps for Josh Williams. Okay, we are right at 125s, 120s, or high 124s, 125s for Kyle. Williams is, a mile per hour and a half faster, so on and so forth. So at this point, we're at 124s. And we are at, we've kind of equalized at this point. 123. I mean, we're consistently seeing that Josh Williams is faster than Kyle Sieg, and everything is kind of equalized, 20 laps in on laps and stuff like that. So answering this between those 2 drivers, based on this, I would lean Josh Williams. That's where I would go. But let me see what it is based on projections here, and the projections would back up that statement. So I would go Josh Williams over Kyle Sieg personally between those 2 drivers. That is where I'm at there. All right, so let me go through what else we got. We have 32 minutes until lock. I'm going to be live for probably about another minute or so. If you guys have any other questions or anything else that you would like me to talk about, let me know, drop it in. But that's kind of where I'm at. Like I said, I'm sorry things came up. I wasn't able to really personally build lines, but I was able to talk you through where I want to go. I think that is very equivalent to my shows and just the videos. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible for just what I do to approach stuff. Smithley, yeah, for sure. Smithley, I like him. I mean, everybody back here projects fucking terrible. I don't have a single value play down here, down in that range, at a 4X. Like, they're all 3s. But that's me leaning on Cole Custer and Kyle Busch being optimal and trying to force those bastards into a lineup. So that's really where I want to go at, because a lot of the balanced lineups that this was wanting to use earlier, I just was not a fan. It was like Cole Custer. It was like Cole Custer, Josh Berry, Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer. I was like, that line is not going to fucking work. In a sense of, like, not all those guys can be optimal. Those guys, cannibalize one another with scraping fast laps and laps led from each other. Like, I just didn't like how the valued lineups were looking like when I ran it earlier, and I was like, yeah, it's Cole Custer and Kyle Busch. So I am going to end the live stream here. Best of luck to everybody. I got to go throw in my 12 lines, and yeah, that's where my stance is. 100% Cole Custer, 100% Kyle Busch. We'll let everything else fall where it may, but that's where I'm at today for this race. Best of luck, guys. 4 to 5 lines luck, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so certainly if you're doing 20 lines, you're not criminally insane like I am. I would probably end up being right at like 30, 25% Justin Allgaier. You're right there. That's perfectly fine. I'm hoping I can just get over the field on that combination and try and land on lines that'll score well. So I will see you guys tomorrow for the live show for the Cup Series, and that'll be at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll probably be joining Sheets again. Not sure. Well, he might be out of town this week and picking up I think he picks up his son from the airport. Either way, I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter and stuff. So best of luck, guys, and I will see you guys later. Hopefully you guys can win some money. I'll see you. Also, if you want to support the channel, Patreon is in the description below. I'll see you guys.